welcome back or welcome for the first time. To all my new listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. For my day 1 to 97, whatever week you decided to come in and keep listening, I genuinely appreciate you. Now, today I want to talk about something that I think a lot of us experience but don't always have the language for, and it's this feeling when something in your life just feels off. Now, you might not be able to always explain it, and it doesn't mean that everything in your life is falling apart. As a matter of fact, you might even be doing a lot of good things, but internally, something feels like things just aren't right. So your pace feels off, your priorities feel off, your peace feels off. And a lot of times what we're actually experiencing in those moments is misalignment. So misalignment between where we are and where God is trying to lead us, or misalignment between what we're doing and what we're actually called to do. And when your life is out of alignment, man, we can feel that. So what is alignment? Because like I said, I did not have language for this before. Alignment is when your heart, your decisions, and your direction are all moving in the same direction that God is leading. And it's when what you're doing on the outside matches what God is forming on the inside. And the beautiful thing is that alignment brings peace. Not because everything is easy, but because things make sense. And when you're aligned, even when life is challenging, there's a steadiness that comes when you know that you're moving in the right direction. But on the other hand, misalignment creates friction. So you feel resistance or confusion or even tension that you just can't quite explain. And so sometimes the problem isn't that life is difficult. It's that life is out of alignment. And I'm really passionate about this because I feel like I'm walking in a season of being aligned right now. And I didn't really understand how important alignment was until I got on the other side of being misaligned. So recently at my job, I shifted roles. And the thing about it is, it wasn't even this huge role shift, even though my title changed. Like a lot of what I was doing before, I'm still doing. So it was a itty bitty shift. A few tasks were taken off my plate that weren't strengths of mine and honestly were really draining. And then a few things were added that are more in my wheelhouse, that are things that actually give me energy and things that I actually feel really confident doing. And what's crazy is those small shifts actually changed everything. So the confusion that I was feeling, that's gone. The insecurity that I didn't even realize I was carrying, that's gone. And then the mental weight that, again, I didn't realize I was carrying, that's gone too. And I just have this sense of peace that I didn't have before. Now, hear me when I say this. I did not hate my job before. I genuinely enjoyed my job before. Furthermore, nothing about my work ethic changed and nothing about my effort changed. The only thing that changed is now I'm in alignment. And that shift really made me realize that sometimes the issue isn't that you're not capable, it's that you're not aligned. But most misalignment doesn't happen overnight. So it's not like yesterday you were, so aligned, and then today you're just way off course. It usually happens pretty slowly. So you're saying yes to things that maybe really aren't yours to carry, or maybe you started chasing things that look successful instead of what actually feels right. Or it could be that you've kept moving forward without stopping to ask God if the direction you're headed is still the one that He's asked you to take. And before long, you're busy, but you're not aligned, or you're productive, but you're not peaceful, or you're moving forward, but you're not even sure where you're going. And the tension that you feel in that moment isn't random. It's oftentimes an invitation to pause and ask God, am I still aligned with you? Because alignment with purpose always starts with alignment with God. Purpose is not something that we manufacture. It's something that we discover through relationship. And when your connection with God is clear, direction becomes clearer. And when that connection with God gets crowded out by noise, pressure, or busyness, purpose starts to feel confusing. Now, unfortunately, some people try to find their purpose without first staying connected to the one who created it. But purpose flows from relationship. So it doesn't flow from pressure or comparison, and purpose doesn't flow from trying to keep up with everyone else. It's our alignment with God that actually grounds everything else. But when you are misaligned, the nice thing is that there are a few signs that can help let you know that something is off. So it might be that you feel constantly drained by things that used to give you energy, or you might start feeling like you're performing instead of living. You could be feeling like you're forcing things that used to feel natural to you, or you might feel like you're moving fast but not actually moving forward. But the biggest sign oftentimes is the loss of peace. And here's the thing. Peace doesn't mean that everything is perfect, but it usually shows up when your life is aligned. And so when that peace disappears, we have to pay attention. Now, the beautiful thing is that when we get out of alignment, we can get back in alignment. But realignment almost always starts with slowing down. So you can't realign your life if you never pause long enough to notice where you are. And sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is stop and ask a simple question. So, God, where have I drifted? Where am I saying yes to things that you didn't ask me to carry? Or what in my life needs to shift? And the thing about it is, realignment isn't always this dramatic thing. Sometimes it's just small adjustments. So changing a priority, or letting go of something that no longer fits, or returning to rhythms that keep you grounded. And I also want to say this, being in alignment doesn't mean that your life becomes perfect, but being in alignment does mean that your life becomes clearer, because alignment creates peace. And so when your life is aligned with God and aligned with your purpose, something on the inside changes. And you also stop chasing approval, or you stop comparing timelines. You also stop forcing doors open that were never meant for you. And you even move with more confidence, not because you have every answer, but because you know that the direction you're headed is the right direction. Now, alignment also doesn't remove challenges, so you're still going to have trials and tribulations, but it does remove confusion, and that changes everything. So if your life has been feeling a little off lately, first of all, I want you to know that you're not broken and all hope is not lost. You might just need to get realigned. And the thing about it is, needing to get a realignment doesn't mean you're failure. That's actually wisdom. And my hope and prayer for you is that you have the courage to slow down and listen, and that you would notice the places where life feels out of sync and allow God to gently guide you back into alignment with Him and with the purpose He's placed on your life. Because when your life aligns with what God is doing, everything else starts to make more sense. So that is what I have for y'all this week. Man, thank you so much for tuning in. As I always say, make sure you're taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Be healthy in your relationships. Y'all, gas is expensive, right? So don't nobody got time for gas to be expensive and y'all be toxic out here in your relationships. So be healthy in your relationships. I love y'all so much, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.